What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman, aka Allfires. Now, there are still a ton of questions surrounding how the Tony Stark of the 616 is back as Victor Von Doom in the MCU, and likely these questions are going to stick around until the film drops a little under 2 years from now. But today, we're going to pivot away from the Robert Downey Jr. of it all, leave those questions behind, and attempt to answer probably a more important question: what in the world is Dr. Doom's plan? Where has he been over the last 2 or 3 years? What has he been up to, and how does this ultimately lead to his role as a big bad, not only in Doomsday, but obviously Avengers Secret Wars after that, the big bad of the Multiverse Saga. And while it may seem that it's been Kang's all the way down and for the last couple of years leading into what could have been Kang Dynasty, it seems as though actually Marvel Studios has been coyfully laying the groundwork for Doom to make his entrance, and we can tell that through a lot of those same projects that Kang was involved with. Today we're going to break it all down and walk through a lot of what's been going on in the last 2 years in Phase 4 and Phase 5 that easily explain what Dr. Doom's plan is definitively and what he's trying to achieve in the multiverse. And believe it or not, for a group of projects that was supposed to be leading to a film called Avengers Kang Dynasty, they've set up Doom's intro extremely well. We're breaking it all down, Dr. Doom's ultimate plan for the multiverse in Avengers Secret Wars. But first, if you could grab the subscribe button. We just announced a brand new winner for our PS5 giveaway yesterday for Deadpool and Wolverine, and we've got another one right around the corner for Agatha all along. So if you want to be entered to win, just hit the sub button, leave a comment down below. Also, my band Allfires is playing our very first show in Atlanta, Georgia on September 1st. So if you live in the area or you plan on being in town for one of the million things going on that weekend like Dragon Con, tickets are cheap, only $15 but limited. So we would love to see you guys at the show. I'll leave a link down in the description and in the comments. And if you do come by, make sure to stick around after the set and say hi. I'll definitely be hanging out. Okay, so Dr. Doom's plan in the MCU has clearly been in the works over 4 specific projects, but there were 2 we left off the list that deserve honorable mention to start with. Obviously, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness went a long way in establishing sort of what the multiverse is in the MCU, how it works, some of the ground rules, and verbiage like incursions directly from Jonathan Hickman's 2015 Secret Wars run that set up what we can expect for the future of the MCU. The second of which was Wakanda Forever, that had that leaked concept art that supposedly had a deleted post-credit scene for Dr. Doom to be introduced. But the 4 specific projects that have been establishing Dr. Doom's plan and from behind the scenes are Loki Season 1 and 2, Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, and believe it or not, the most recent Deadpool and Wolverine. Now, working backwards, Deadpool and Wolverine's maybe most important piece of dialogue as it pertained to the Multiverse Saga and setting up Secret Wars was the exposition about anchor beans, because anchor beans was such a key part of how Jonathan Hickman's 2015 Secret Wars went down. Basically, the Beyonders decided to erase everything, destroy all of existence, and the way that they were going to do that was they were going to set up Molecule Man as the anchor bean across the multiverse and basically set a bomb off that would kill all Molecule Men and, in the process, erase the universe and all of existence. Dr. Doom learns of this plan and decides to start killing the Molecule Men off one by one, the anchor beans, in order to basically minimize this effect that the Beyonders would have. That's why the anchor beans, like Logan, have been dying one by one and across all of the Marvel Cinematic Universes. Now, we're going to come back to that, but I think there's a good chance Doom has had a hand in making sure that this happens. But what Doom ultimately ends up doing in the comics is, instead of just killing the Molecule Men one by one, because he realizes that isn't going to work, he goes and rounds them all up in an attempt to draw the Beyonders out and then uses their own bomb against them to seize their power and become God Emperor Doom. Now, things are unlikely to go down exactly like that in the Marvel Cinematic Universe because there's already been some major changes and omissions. Number one, we don't have the Beyonder yet in the MCU, and it's going to be a huge job of trying to introduce him, explain his power and what the race of the Beyonders actually are in Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. Also, obviously, there is no Molecule Man, and we now know that other characters, say like Logan, can be the anchor characters or the anchor beans and across the multiverse. Now, it's likely that it's different characters across the MCU multiverse instead of all of the same, because we just learned that Logan is the anchor in 10,005, but we don't have a Logan or a Wolverine, or at least not yet, in the 616, and I think a lot of people are safely guessing that Tony Stark was our anchor bean. And just this morning, another clip started making its rounds where Kevin Feige refers to Benedict Cumberbatch as the anchor in the MCU, but I think that's taken a little out of context. I don't think he actually meant that Doctor Strange was the anchor in the 616, but he may have. theory for a different video, but in the meantime, this theory could be more easily explained if a majority of the anchor beings happen to be Nathaniel Richards, aka Kang. In that case, the end of Quantumania and the post-credits scene as a reaction to the events during that film actually could help Dr. Doom by rounding up all of the Kangs and putting them in the exact same place, like the Council of Kangs, in the same way that Dr. Doom used rounding up all the Molecule Men to draw the Beyonders out. He could be setting this all up because they are all now in the same place and using a majority of those anchor beings in the same place to draw out the Beyonders as well. Now, it would be an endeavor to try to bring the Beyonders again into this and this late in the game, but if his attempt is to steal the power of the Beyonders, and we don't have the Beyonders yet in order to rule the multiverse, what we do have is Loki, God of Stories, and it conveniently during Loki Season 1 and Loki Season 2 took the power of the TVA and these Nathaniel Richards, these variants of Kang, and transferred it over to Loki, put all the power of the multiverse in one singular spot. So now you don't need to defeat all of the Kangs, you simply need to kill Loki and seize the power from him. So loosely you can see the parallels in the storyline here. In the comics, he rounds up all the Molecule Men, that brings out the Beyonders, he kills the Beyonders, takes the power from them, and then rules as God Emperor Doom. In these last couple of projects, he's rounded up a ton of Nathaniel Richards, aka Kang, transferred the power from them basically over to Loki, God of Stories, instead of the Beyonders, and put it all in one place for him to end up killing Loki, seizing the power of the multiverse, and instead of having a God of Stories, we would now have God Emperor Doom. And as further evidence of this, one key Easter egg comes at the very end of Loki Season 2 when God of Stories Loki takes his throne and holds the multiverse. They clearly show us the imagery of Yggdrasil, the World Tree, which is the throne that God Emperor Doom uses in Secret Wars 2015 and during Battleworld. It is all literally set in place, and that's why I said during the prologue, for a series of projects that was supposed to set up Kang, they actually did a great job of setting up Dr. Doom, and even though it might not have felt like it at the time, have already moved a ton of pieces on the chessboard in order to have a comic accurate Secret Wars with Doom as the big bad, which really has me thinking this may have been the plan outside of what happened with Jonathan Majors and Kang all along. But you guys let me know all your thoughts down below, and if you still just want to talk about the fact that Robert Downey Jr. is coming back as Dr. Doom and it's blowing your mind, that is totally okay. I can promise you that friends of mine are going through the same thing. I still am a little bit too. I cannot believe Marvel Studios decided to make this leap, but at the very least, it has done exactly what they wanted it to do. People have been talking about it since that announcement, and they know people are going to keep talking about it until we get some answers for what right now still seems like a huge stretch, pun totally intended. You guys let me know all your thoughts down below quickly. Let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. Like I said during the prologue, we just announced a brand new winner for our PS5 giveaway in our very last video, so if you missed it, make sure to tune back for that. And we're giving another one away for Agatha All Along, which is just around the corner. So if you want to be entered to win or for any of our future giveaways, all the same rules will always apply. Hit the subscribe button because you need to be a subscriber, then leave a comment down below. Because it's truly random, the more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners will be announced at the end of videos, the same way we're doing here. The best way to keep up with the content has always been to hit the notification bell with all notifications turned on. And as always, if you like today's video, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit the like button. My name's Michael Roman. You can find me in a couple of places, Instagram and Twitter at I'mFires. You can also find me on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, Apple, iTunes under the name AllFires. And while I sincerely appreciate you checking my music out, thanks for checking this channel out. Stick around, we'll be posting again real soon.